Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Smells Like Teen Angst. We are here. We are going to talk about Cruel Summer, Season 2, Episode 5. All I Want for Christmas is to know about Lisa. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for laughing. That was for you. And as always, I have the lovely Keiki and Jordan. Ladies, say hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Keiki, and I have lipstick on my teeth.
This is like the one night we all got made up. Like last Sunday, we said we're not doing it, and tonight we're here, and I love this for us.
I know, me too. I washed my hair and did it today. I had to be in public, so this is
that's the only reason I want makeup, because I went out in public. Don't get it twisted. I do not look like this on my days off.
I know. I'm like, look, we have
don't
to be
hate
on
me
camera.
I just put on lipstick and my skin is good right now. So
I know, it makes me so
sorry.
jealous. To start this off, I want to just say thank you again to all of our amazing viewers. Every time I see comments of people saying they're coming back to watch us, to just because they want to hear what we have to say about this show, it makes my heart pitter pat. I love it. And I just wanted to comment on a couple of ones that we had from last week. So we've got Strong Girl Army. They said that the pipe thing reminds us of that weird amount of money that was found in the cabin. Is it hers? Is it Megan from whatever weird internet thing that she was doing to get more money? So, because, Isabella offered to pay for this burst pipe in the house, and now they found the backpack. I was like, that was a good question. I don't know.
That does bring it back around, because I kept saying how annoyed I was with the whole class struggle, but the money in the backpack and the pipe. Okay.
Yeah, that was really sketchy, but also we've established that Isabel is she's got a lawyer, she's been in a circle of badness. The girl has getaway money.
Yeah.
It seems normal for her.
Mm-hmm.
My finger's still not at her back.
Lisa H says that they also agree that the father is sus. That Mr. Chambers, Steve Chambers, super sus. I agree completely. This I thought was interesting. Ashlyn 703 said, I feel like Isabella was messing around with Brett, and that's why her swimsuit was there and why she was snooping around so much for a tape, because she doesn't want Megan to know.
Ooh, somebody's putting some cornstarch on the plot, but I like it.
I like it.
I know, I like that too.
Probably why she's the Brett's ex that we were oh, they're cool now.
Mm-hmm.
It explains why they might be cool, because they got used by the same guy.
Ooh. Nothing bonds two girls like hating your mutual ex. Let me tell you.
Exactly.
Girl.
When you become an Eskimo sister, you're just
one of my very best friends from high school. That's how me and her.
Mm-hmm. Happens. It happens. And then this. So this I kind of love. This is Brittany Fresh. This was a little long, so buckle in. During the dinner scene, Megan said, this doesn't involve you, or something around like that to Isabella, which makes me think that Brent now knows it was Megan in the video, and that's why she started getting those calls. And if he died 6 months earlier, Luke, then how would Megan be able to clean up the blood? Because that shit would have been dried and stained by that point. I wonder if the blood is not from a miscarriage, but maybe from her giving birth. If she didn't show that much, which some teen moms don't, then maybe she went to the cabin to give birth and gave the baby to that neighbor. She said the guy was a hacker computer genius, so it would make sense if he was involved in the death and was her friend, and she would have confided in him.
I just love these people. Our internet friends are crazy too.
Y'all be thinking.
Y'all be thinking.
And I just want to say that Brittany, who was that? Who left that comment? Brittany H? Was that her
this
name?
Was Brittany Fresh.
Brittany Fresh. You probably had a real good time watching episode 5. You probably had a real good time.
Absolutely. And then Chanel Amber, who is our OG girl, she comes back every week and tells us how amazing we are. Heart, heart, kiss, kiss. Says, as always, I love you, ladies. I think that Luke was gone for a while without contacting Megan, then shows back up in May of 2000 and his death is accidental. I hope the girls are acting like they're not friends, which is something we mentioned last week. I hate when girls do not like each other. I love the dinner scene, and I'm relieved that somebody finally called Chambers out for his bad parenting. I think that Isabella either killed Lisa or killed someone who knew her. Lisa knew in their friendship circle before moving to Washington. And then after the pregnancy was mentioned at the end of the show, she looked forward to the following week, which we all did. So as we know, episode 5, the recap of this episode was every mention of Isabel saying Lisa. And I was like, oh, it's happening. It's happening.
From the minute the last week on started, I was like, oh, this episode's going to bring the goods.
I was just like, are we going to see Lisa? And they did not disappoint. They gave it to us immediately.
It's so good.
Immediately.
It's so good. So let's get into this recap review, ladies. So we got summer of 1999. The episode set the tone lovely with the song from Slide from Goo Goo Dolls and a letter to Lisa.
That album, side note, is like a perfect no skip album. If you have not listened to that song by the Goo Goo Dolls, or that album by the Goo Goo Dolls with Slide and Black Balloon and Iris on it, you're missing out.
Love it. It's a good one. I saw
also,
them in
but I
concert.
also feel like it's like the only good thing that ever came out of them, though.
That album.
It don't matter.
Don't matter. It's still iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Megan, Isabel, and everybody, they're going to all go to Christmas in July. I was like, what's their version? It was actually really fun. But then we get this close-up of a photo of Isabella and Lisa. So now we know they are two separate people and Lisa actually exists. Right? I was like, okay.
Important.
And then we jump to Megan's work, and that crazy neighbor is being so overly nice to her, and Isabella kind of makes a joke about it, like, oh, what's going on there? She's like, he's just nice, he's whatever. Megan and Isabel talk about Jeff, and Megan admits what we all kind of thought last week, that she thinks that Jeff is nice, but they're not soulmates, so she's just enjoying the attention. Isabella mentions to her that Luke does not like them together, and she keeps asking about this vibe between the two of them that Megan keeps denying. Because Isabella's like, I'm not dumb, but as long as you keep saying there's nothing between you, what am I supposed to do?
Exactly. Not her fault. But she is trying.
She is trying, but I also think that's a really good life lesson, is that you can only take people at their word. We cannot go off of vibes. We can't go off of what is or isn't there. If people don't tell you, it does not exist.
100%. So ladies, if you have feelings for a friend, it's also like kind of scary, right? So I've always in my life been the friend that is like has feelings for my friends and they're never reciprocated. So I also would never want to keep that from a friend, you know, just because I liked them. So I think it's like a weird line. You got to figure it out. And then Carlton Banks rolls up, otherwise known as Trevor. He plays Carlton on the news.
I'm so happy you said that, because I was watching it on my iPad. I screamed. My mom was like, what is wrong? And I was like, Carlton just showed up in this show. There's going to be trouble.
Yes. I was like, if you didn't know, this man plays Carlton on Peacock's Bel Air, and he's so good on that, and he was really fun on that.
Such a villain on that. So I just, when he showed up, all I expected was drama. I was like, this is going to be bad.
And it was good. So he is Lisa's older brother, Trevor, and everything is so awkward. Every conversation, every moment is like a weird, awkward dun dun dun, blah blah blah. Like, I'm like, does no one around them feel the weird tension I'm feeling through this television?
Right?
Why is no one calling this out?
The energy was off for sure, but also I didn't understand how nobody could get like curious with all the clues I felt like he was dropping in the conversation. Like, I would be like, bro, just say what's on your mind. Like,
every sentence that he said ended in an ellipsis. There was always some kind of smart ass joke attached to it, and nobody was like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. I was like, what's going on? Even when him and Luke get into like that weird pissing contest, I was just like, okay, what? Sure.
Just pull your dicks out and measure them, or shut up.
Assumed that was someone's ex.
Yeah.
I would have been like, and that's your ex, right? Because there's drama.
There's too much tension.
Yeah.
freaking sprinkled the drama sauce on it.
And then there's just like this throwaway moment that I was like, this is the moment, and both of you know me very well, where I was like, I am Team Isabella for life. And that is because for their ditch day, she wanted to go to the Backstreet Boy concert in Seattle. I am a Backstreet Boy girly. I have been a Backstreet Boy girly since I was 14, forever and always Backstreet Boy girly. So I was like, yes, take me to a Backstreet Boy concert. It won't happen, but they're on video. So they're all drinking and talking about drinking, and Trevor's like, oh, you still drink after last winter? Ellipses. And we learn, like, Isabella kind of says, like, oh, well, I was arrested in Ibiza like for public intoxication and peeing in public, and Trevor just bailed me out. And you could tell that it's not the full story from his reaction, and he just kind of lets it go. And then they go off together to talk. And this conversation is so vague. And I'm like, just say what you want to say. Say what we all need to hear. Like, Isabella is like, oh, Megan's my best friend. And Trevor's like, I'm hurt that you left and never talked to me. And I'm just like, okay, get to Lisa, because we need to know. And they did a really good job of not telling us, because until like the end. And I was like, I will kill all of you. Isabella's like, yeah, I admit that last winter got out of hand and that they shouldn't have kept their relationship from Lisa. So now we know that Isabella just has like secret relationships all the time. And they just keep saying like the police had so many questions. I'm like, guys, I'm going to kill you. Yeah. And then Isabella tells Trevor that she loves him and she kisses him, and Megan sees it. So now you have like the girlfriend thing of I'm friends with Luke. I'm best friends with Isabella now. Like, where's my loyalty lie on all of this?
And it's also like the first moment that we really do see like Megan have that, like those feelings kind of readable for Luke.
Mm-hmm.
At least in this before section, because the entire time I've been like, okay, how does it get there? Because I just feel like they're like prolonging this Isabella and Luke relationship for this whole summer, as if it went on, I guess, the whole summer. Yeah. And eventually they do break up, and I feel like now it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been trying to figure out how that was going to be, and they're leading us there. Where am I at? Oh yeah, so she confronts Isabella. Megan confronts Isabella, and she's like, we're done for good. He kissed me. I was pushing it. You just saw the end of it. And like, I'm like, okay,
girl, you're lying, but okay.
Liar. And then Isabella and Luke leave everybody, head to the cabin, and she brought ginormous condoms.
Like, it's just old school packaging. The condom's not ginormous. The packaging's ginormous.
No, I know, but I was like, dang.
Here's the thing. I will say I enjoyed how she broached that topic, because I feel like so many women, particularly women in media, are so awkward about it, or it's not a conversation, or they don't say it. And she straight up just pulled out that ridiculously large wrapper and was like, if you want it, it's here. If not, that's cool too.
Yeah. I was just like, is that what they looked like then? Because I was not having sex, and
I wasn't either, but I feel like the packaging was not that. I had older brothers, and I feel like I definitely saw one during that time period that was not that large.
Like, as you get like at school and sex ed, you see them. I was like, that thing was the size of her hand.
The thing is, that's why I'm telling you. I'm like, look, I wasn't having sex in 99. I was 9 years old, but I do remember me and my cousins filling up condoms and like dropping them off the balcony or pulling them over our head, putting a little arm in them. So I'm like, no, I think the wrappers were just really big, because when I got older, they still seemed the same size.
I don't know. They're like this big. I don't know. Maybe she just has really tiny hands.
Maybe she has small hands.
That's what it is. Also, the lesson is, if a man tells you that it's too small, he's a liar, because you can fit your leg in it.
You can fit your head in it.
Can I tell you? One boy tried that and tried to be funny when I was having sex ed class, and it was some woman from Planned Parenthood who was like volunteering, and she was like, oh, it's too big. And she pulled out a 2 liter of soda. I don't know where this woman was carrying this 2 liter. She pulled a 2 liter of soda out, put a condom over it, and she was like, no, it's not too big. Shut up.
Oh my God. That's amazing. See, lesson, children. Don't let them lie to you.
Oh gosh. Safe sex is important.
Safe sex is important. Use contraceptives. So Luke loses his virginity to Isabella. Now, this is a thing that I wonder if Megan or Isabella or Luke ever talk about.
That's what I wondered too. And I'm leaning towards they don't.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. I think Luke lets her believe that they're going to lose it together. And that would be really upsetting to learn the truth.
After the fact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then this line was like, at first I was like, oh, it only shows his nerdiness. And then later you realize it's important. When he compared, he's like, it was amazing. No, it's first time it's amazing. And he compares having sex with her to taking the red pill from the Matrix. You know, like the wake up pill.
You know what? I didn't even think it was nerdy. In my mind, I immediately went to way to remind us that it's 1999, guys. Thanks. Thanks for your pop culture
I mean,
reference.
everyone loved The Matrix. I really don't think it's a nerdy thing because everyone loved The Matrix. I'm talking about moms, dads, kids. Everybody wanted to be Neo. Like, it was a thing. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. But it's cute because then later something happens. So then we see Megan at home alone staring at a photo of Luke's fake ID. And then we are confirmed that the person she's speaking to on AIM is the guy from the woods. Because that's what we were wondering last episode is who is she talking to? Because she shushed that like AIM message away. Also, I really want to know what Megan's like away message is. Because remember what our away messages were like?
Oh man,
he is nobody and nobody is perfect.
Mine were so colorful with different fonts, but if you didn't have the font, you couldn't see it.
Was almost always an MCR lyric or a lyric by the Distillers. MCR and the Distillers. That's it. That was my whole.
Paramore was a thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Backstreet Boy lyrics for sure.
Taking Back Sunday.
Smashing Pumpkins was a big thing.
I was gonna say Smashing Pumpkins, Prince.
Yeah. I just need more Megan's AIM away messages. Ugh, if only the cast would talk to me. Anyway, I digress. So then when Megan comes home, or I'm sorry, Isabella comes home, Megan confesses that when she saw Trevor and Isabella kissing, she was actually very happy because she thought Isabella would end things with Luke because she is finally able to accept and say out loud that she is into Luke, but then it's so awkward and she quickly retracts it. And she's like, can we just pretend like I never said that? I don't want to say that. That doesn't exist. I'm too scared to say it out loud. And then later the girls meet in the kitchen and Isabella's like, I can't stop thinking about what you said about Luke. And then Megan makes the same Matrix reference, which is like, shows the two of her and Luke on like that soulmate level. And so Isabella is like, look, you and him are soulmates and I'm no longer interested. Done.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, that's the breakup after they have sex, after he loses his virginity to the girl that's supposed to be her best friend who says honesty is everything, but then doesn't tell Megan about sleeping with him.
Drama, drama, drama.
The drama. And it just gets better from here.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're on to. What'd you say?
I was like, keep going. Keep going.
Now we move on to December of 1999, our blue Twilight filter. So the girls are looking at this cute photo album together because remember it's Christmas. And that was Megan's Christmas gift to Isabella, which I think is adorable. I love a handmade gift.
I think it's so precious, especially knowing that like Isabella isn't going to be there forever. She's going to move soon. Like it's just 1 year. This is such a precious way to like cement that year and create those memories.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
And then Isabella gets Megan a super high quality computer screen from Circuit City.
It's 1999.
I know. I was like, oh, R.I.P. Circuit City. And then Megan is super weird about it, which I have to remember that she's really young, that she's like 16, right? So when you give someone something handmade and then someone gave you something really expensive when you were younger, you just feel like your gift doesn't add up because you put money higher than thought.
Yeah.
Even though when it comes to doing something equally as important and equally thoughtful, they're on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, because at first I was like, that's so silly. This happens in my life now. And
yeah,
then
right?
But I actually had an experience like that as a kid. So like I get it. I remember my best friend in high school. We always used to make each other gifts, because we're freaking poor. And by the time I was like in college or something, like I made her like this backpack full of like all these little cute toys and trinkets that were like vintage, like Polly Pockets and stuff like that. And then for my birthday, she got us tickets to the Kills, which the show was sold out. So if she bought them on like a resale website, I was like, okay, you spent way over like $100 on me. Like that makes me feel weird because we both work like shitty jobs. And then she was like, well, my parents helped me. And then I felt bad because I was like, well, my parents can't help me buy a gift for you. Like, I understood. I totally understood.
No, it's definitely a valid thing. It's 100, like it's so real, but I also feel like because Megan is young, she like takes the real, like there's a real feeling here, but then she elevates it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also it's like a new friendship though. So I'm like, that's why she's elevating it. Like they haven't known each other, but just a few months.
6 months. At this point, it's 6 months. And in
my friend did this for me
forever.
after we'd been friends for 7 years and I still felt awkward. So it's just like, come on.
Yeah, I get it. But then Isabella tries to make Megan feel way like less awkward about the price difference of their gifts. They start talking about Luke, and like this entire exchange is super awkward. We learn that Steve and Debbie. Oh, also Megan, we learn is failing AP European history, which I'm weirdly okay with.
And she can hack to fix it. I would have been so down to have a friend who could hack and fix my grades. I mean, I had a friend who would hack the computer lab and like crash everything so we could get out of like model you in early. But like he never was like, I could hack into the schools and change your grade. Like,
yeah, I could hack the computers and get MySpace on them because they'd always firewall MySpace and block it. And I would always find a way around the firewall. It kind of became cat and mouse between me and the computer science teacher.
I can do that too.
I could get on her firewall and get to MySpace. I could get around the attendance phone calls home, but like actual grades, it came down to like old school. Remember, you would get that magnifying glass and the pen, and you would just try and fix it so your parents didn't see the bad grade. Like that's that was that level of it was not.
Girl, they taught my mama how to check them online, and they gave her the date they came out. So there was no way.
That was my brothers doing that shit. I had good grades. I didn't need to whatever.
I had good grades too, but like B's are bad grades in an Asian household, okay?
I was over here like, I'm passing, be happy.
I think it's garbage that Isabella's AP European history teacher would give her a C, because let me tell you, the amount of courtesy good grades I got, because like I'm terrible at math. And I have had multiple math teachers pull me aside and say, listen, we're not going to ruin your future by failing you because you're smart at everything else. So take this courtesy grade and shut up.
Yeah. I don't know how I passed my American history class because I slept through the whole thing. It was American history at 7:30 in the morning. There's no way I'm staying awake. And I just like did tests. And I just remember my teacher having me walk over to see my grade. It was like a D+. And he was like, since you turned in that homework, that extra credit didn't exist. It didn't exist, you guys. He's like, your grade is now this. And he gave me a C-. And I was like, thanks. Solid. Teachers doing student solids.
I think the only time I ever got a solid was like, I took a math class no credit in college. And because I constantly showed up to her office hours trying to figure it out, I'm pretty sure she passed me because I never got like above a D on a test. Like I was like, I can't math anymore. I went to school for television. Right. I didn't think I'd have to math again.
Yeah, I'm gay and I can't do math. I'm going to major in theater. Please pass me.
Just let me go. Just let me get out of here. So back to the cruel summary. Sorry, guys. So Steve and Debbie are taking time apart. Thank goodness. Isabella is talking with her mom, and like Megan just kind of like has been ignoring her and just leaves and says that she wasn't going to go see Luke, that she was going to go work. And Isabella isn't buying it. So she lies and says she's going to go look at Christmas lights, but instead she is stalking Megan. And she finds her car parked in the woods, and she follows these tree markings, which I was like, What is that? And she finds out that Megan is hanging with the crazy guy in the woods and sees her give him a Christmas present. And my thought was, is he actually her baby daddy and not Luke?
No.
I had that thought too.
Y'all are nasty.
They were too friendly. They were
Too friendly.
What if it's like her uncle or like her dad?
No, she would have said that. That would have come up by now.
Yeah.
It's a small town.
What would I
It's a
do
small
without
town.
you? The grown man.
It's
He's
a
her
small
hacker
town.
friend.
He's a crazy
Teach
man
her
who
how
lives
to
in the
hack.
woods. He shoots guns. He could be grooming this girl on the internet.
Yeah. We were warned about these AOL chat rooms for a very long time.
You guys have the right to feel this way, and I'm not judging you, but does it always have to be so dark?
Yes, because he's a grown man. We know what
You know what show we're watching. Do you remember season 1? Because I do.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm.
Comment your thoughts. We need to know.
I know.
Yeah, that was my thought. I wrote it down. It was a note. Where am I? So Luke comes over to hang out with Isabella because he wants to give Megan her Christmas gift, I guess, and says that his dad, and like nods about his dad being in a really bad place still since closing that deal, which I think is just going to keep coming back later.
Yeah.
And Isabella shares with him that she's really concerned about Megan because she's hiding things from her. And Luke's like, yeah, she's been super cold towards me too. And then Isabella tells him about seeing Megan in the woods with the guy because she's like, look, I'm concerned. I don't want to tell her mom, but I'll tell you. And then Megan walks in all accusatory of like, am I interrupting something? Ma'am, they were sitting separately on the couch.
On the couch.
In the middle
broad
of the
daylight.
living room. Her very accusatory stuff is also what makes me think.
I think it's projection.
Yes. Thank you. Words are hard. Guys.
Words are hard. It's getting late.
Words are hard. So she's like such a dick. And Isabella like leaves. She's like, you two have fun because I don't want to deal with your bullshit. And she walks in on Debbie going through her things. And she's like, what's going on? And she sees all these unsent postcards. And Isabella makes up this story about how like she writes them all and sends them to her best friend, Lisa. And like how she's like, oh, well, I haven't seen any to you. And she's like, oh, I beat you to the mailbox every time. It's fine. I just happens to be the days I only get the mail. And I don't know why the mom is so suspicious of her. It seemed like a strange scene for this and her to be so like accusatory and questioning her.
I didn't think it was strange at all because, okay, so the mom says she's in the room because she's putting away laundry, which I totally believe because a girl like Isabella is not doing her own laundry for sure. Secondly, when she found the note cards, they were like in a drawer. So of course, like she's like in the drawer to put laundry away. She stumbles on these note cards and like human curiosity, it's better if she starts looking at them. I think it got so weird and accusatory because she's like, well, why do you have this bundle of postcards? And I think that was genuine curiosity. But when Isabella starts talking, it's blatantly bullshit. Like it's blatantly bullshit. And I think the conversation just gets worse and worse because I think the mom is like, well, I know you're lying, but I'm not going to call you on it. But let's also see how deep you go down the rabbit hole of this fucking lie. And she does take it too far. It's so obviously fake.
I think the mom, probably has done some research because this kid is living in her house, and maybe went to her boyfriend who's kind of powerful politically, doing things, and was like, hey, can you look up this kid for me? And was like, let me see if I can find out something from going through her things. And literally, like, is just trying to catch her in a lie. Like, it gave me that energy. Your parents are just trying to catch you in a lie.
Yeah. It's like when you got home from school after getting in trouble and your mom was like, so did anything happen today? Anything happen at school? Anything we need to talk about at school today?
Yeah, you're like, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Why is it such a big deal?
Why is this such a thing? Did you get off the wrong bus stop? Maybe.
You didn't have a science quiz today?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
I did not. I don't know what you're talking about, Mom. So Isabella confides in Debbie about how weird things are with Megan and how she's been pulling away. And then Isabella goes to talk to Megan and she's like reading this mystery novel, and then this comment about lie comes up. So I'm like, whose body is Megan using lie on later? Anyway, that's the whole
Chekhov's
I
lie.
don't think that had anything to do with her using lie on anything. I think it's just kind of like showing us that Megan has always been into
true crime.
true crime. So
Yeah, I don't
she needs to
necessarily.
defend her very body.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily going to come back around to lie specifically, but I do think that was planting the seed of them talking about like burying bodies and committing crimes and all that. I think it was foreshadowing, just not like very specific foreshadowing.
Okay.
Yeah, just like we do crime together.
Yeah. Just putting it in our heads to keep them on our suspect list,
Sure. And then the girls share Christmas cookies, trying to mend the fences to a cover of Blink-182.
I thought that was really cute, honestly.
I did too. I was like, this is good. So now we get into summer of 2000. Isabella's lawyer is the one who leaked the pregnancy info, and Isabella is not happy about that because she did not want that to happen. I understand why her lawyer did it, and I understand why Isabella's upset. It's fine.
Yep. This old Viola Pope over here.
So Isabella explains the money bag, that they were both in the Airstream and someone planted them as evidence. So she's saying she had money in the Airstream, someone came, took it, planted it in the cabin. Plausible.
Possible.
Very possible. And then Isabella and Megan meet, and she apologizes to Megan about the leaking of the pregnancy. And Isabella learns that she figured out that she was pregnant on New Year's because she saw the test in the trash. And then she says something. Isabella is ominous about how they're tied together because the more police learn about New Year's, the more they're going to learn about her and her, I guess, like Ibiza. I'm going to say Ibiza forever. And then Megan says that their friendship is dead. So my theory of them being friends still and pretending not to be might be dead in the water.
Yeah, I think that theory is dead, and it makes me sad because I was really pulling for it, but here we are.
Here we are. I'm very sad about it. So Megan goes to her mom and asks her to have Isabella leave. And I thought this scene was actually really heartbreaking because like her mom, they talk about her pregnancy. And her mom's like, I really wish you would have come to me, and everything kind of stays very vague about it. And then when Megan tells her mom, like, I need you to pick me finally. Like, I understand that this girl has lived with us. I understand that you have a connection with her, but I'm your daughter. So I need you to be on my side. And I get that. And I thought this was such a sad scene because then Isabella, when apologizing to Debbie about the baby news getting out, she tells her that she needs to find somewhere else to stay. And Isabella like lies and says, oh, it's fine. I'm already there. My clothes are packed. I'm just waiting to get picked up. And then you see her go into the Airstream and she's sadly throwing clothes, feeling so alone. And I'm just like, these two girls, I just feel so bad for them.
Me too, especially because
wait, I wrote down.
Go ahead. I feel bad for them because they're so young and like you just realize how dumb those fights that you got into. Like they were so dumb. And like friendship heartbreak is so much worse than romantic heartbreak. And half the time at that age, like it could have been smoothed over with a conversation. And who knows what actually happened? Maybe they were involved with a murder. Maybe you can't smooth murder over with a conversation. But like just the youthfulness of like holding that grudge.
Yeah. And then Keiki, what were you going to say?
I was saying before she went to PAC, she said, didn't she say something about like, if you want to know why your daughter's mad at me, look under my bed?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was my next note.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. I got you, girl. I got you.
All right. So give us the next note.
I know. But yeah, so but in the conversation, she tells Debbie that she has something under her bed that Megan wanted to get rid of. And so she should look at it and see why. And I'm assuming that's a thing from the trash from last episode.
Me too. Yeah.
We're like, what is that? And they didn't really show us what it was.
Is it the fetus?
Oh my God, don't you dare.
Don't you say that.
It was bloody.
But how can you hide a whole ass fetus under a bed without it stinking up the whole like
that's
building?
Fair.
Okay, I don't know. That's fair. That's fair.
So then we learn that the sheriff has been asking around about St. Bart's, and it's starting to get really stressful for her because, as the lawyer says, they've been hiding the truth for a year. She's like, I just got off the phone with the the company in France, the office in Paris. I was like, okay. And she's like, it's only a matter of time until that comes out. And then the final moment of the episode is we see that Megan gets a letter from Trevor, who we met in the summer of 19.
Good old Ollie Shellton, just acting his ass off, just acting as a jerk all the time.
He just has to be the villain. He's always
he does.
And inside of this letter has clippings about Lisa and how she drowned in St. Bart's.
Bum, bum, bum.
And poor Keiki. No, we have to watch the next episode.
I mean, every single time.
Every time. No, she gets
I
so bad.
don't want to wait anymore. Like, this is the beauty of it. Like, we get to watch it early, so why can't we just watch it all?
Why can't we just watch it early?
I know. We can record multiple times a week and then we can.
Instead, we are watching the day before you guys. And then it airs, and then we put this up, and it's unfair because they're making me wait. And I'm impatient.
Giving away our secret.
And I promise them every week. I'm like, I promise you, I won't talk about it. And they're like, no, you're going to let it slip. You're going to ruin everything. And then you're going to ruin the after show. Whatever.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
that's it for this episode, and we'll record this on Sunday. No, we won't. We got Fall Out Boy. We'll record this on Saturday.
I have plans on Saturday. We need to reconvene and see when we can record this.
We shall. Don't worry, but we'll still be out on Tuesday. As always. Until next time, ladies, you got anything you got to share? You want to say?
Nope.
No, I can't believe Fall Out Boy's coming up. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear?
I don't know what I'm gonna wear either.
Think about it. All right. Well, until next time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, and we'll see you next week. Bye.